We aren't dropping. We're live. What? We're not dropping frames. Pardon the technical difficulties. If you could hear us not like uh, every other second, like uh, cool, then it's working. But we've been having a lot of technical difficulties here. We've been dropping a lot of frames, and hopefully this works. All right, bye.
We should maybe get chat preview up while we're at it. No.
All right, we're good.
As always, Steve, thank you so much for the hard work that you put into making this show happen. There's a lot that goes on here behind the scenes, and today it was. Huh?
There is buffering.
There is buffering.
Okay.
I can't even see chat right now. I did not bring that up. We were so busy getting everything working that I have no idea how people are seeing us and such. So let me bring that up. We'll have a nice conversation. Then maybe we'll start with the joke. Update the Twitch app. I'll do that next time. I'm sure that'll be fine, right? I'm sure that'll be fine.
Life is like an airplane here in Duckburg.
Right. I am seeing a little bit of jumpiness, but not too bad. It looks all right.
Dun,
So
dun, 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 dun.
while Steve still carefully monitors and checks audio, Dave, um, not everyone handles being a hero the same way. Steve is a hero behind the scenes, and he does fantastically to make this happen every day. But some people don't handle it as well. One of the lesser-known Power Rangers fell into a pretty nasty drug habit. He was last heard proclaiming, "It's morphine time."
That
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Glasses podcast. I'm Boater.
I'm Dave, man.
And the magician behind the scenes is Steve, still monitoring everything. So if anything goes wrong, it is. If everything goes right, it's Steve's fault. If anything goes wrong, Steve is blameless and doing his best. How's things going, Dave? Aside
pretty,
from
pretty well. I miss our 10-minute fart around every week where we all three of us just kind of sit here and watch the timer go down, and then I'm like, should we start the program? Yes, we'll start the program. Like,
yeah, we're used to having that 10 minutes of decompression where we're like, all right, I'll take a leak, I'll change my shirt, I'll just kind of sit here with my feet up. All right, we got time. And then that entire time plus some was used up today. So welcome to a bit of a glance behind how we go without anything happening properly. Is caps lock on?
it shouldn't be. Caps lock is now on, so it was off.
Okay. Hooray! Anyway, first order of business while we get that kicked up is going over a Twitch ban. Haven't really had a good one the past couple weeks. It's always been kind of like, oh well, there's this little odd thing, or let's talk about something sort of related but not quite a streamer getting banned. And today we got a good old-fashioned Twitch ban. A streamer was banned for something that wasn't his fault.
Oh,
Rubius, one of the biggest Spanish Twitch streamers, got special permission from Sega to stream Sonic Frontiers yesterday. The
Mhm.
game comes out today, and I'm sure you'll tell us all about it in Nerd Vision preview. Doodaloo doodaloo doodaloo. Not yet. We'll get there. But Sonic Frontiers came out today, but yesterday he got special permission to stream it ahead of time. Now, in what we call a technical ouchie, the algorithm still gave him a copyright strike, it removed his membership, and banned him. Oops. He complained and within an hour got his account back, fully reinstated, partnership, everything like that, and was able to go back to streaming the game. But it was definitely something that was like, that's probably an algorithm going oopsie doodles. But everything's fine now. So that was that was one of the more interesting Twitch bans that we've had of like, no, I have permission to stream this, and the algorithm don't care. I've actually I haven't gotten a copyright strike or anything like that, but I've definitely I use NCS music for like my pre-roll and stuff like that, and I have Fade on there, which sounds exactly the same as Faded by Alan Walker, except Faded has vocals and also is copyrighted, whereas without vocals it's not. But the algorithm thinks it's one when it's actually the other, and this was a little more like he was specifically told there is no embargo on this. Go ahead, play it ahead of time, and it still caught him. So, hooray!
Yeah, what an unfortunate thing when now that everything is under so many different roofs that events like that are commonplace when special permissions are given and a platform in fairness does a good job to protect IPs and make sure that some people don't like steal an advanced copy or this or that or the other. Um, but yikes, to get banned, it's it's the
Well,
mom
it
said
sucks
it's
too.
my
He had
turn
like
with the
thirty
Xbox
thousand. He
syndrome.
had 30,000 people watching the stream, and it just kicked him when he should have been able to get that viewership.
It's rough. It's unfortunate, but eh, it'll happen. I am attempting to get the computer up so that I can run the.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
we got to get our prediction slash voting going for what awfulness we're gonna shove in our face holes.
oh yes, because although it's not necessarily the way we usually start, it is still on the table.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, forgive us. Just again during that normal 10-minute countdown, we're here. We're getting the laptop booted. We're doing this, that, and the other thing, and we are we are doing our best here. Thank you, everybody, and again for the fifth time, thank you, Steve. Um, Dave, while that comes up, what games are coming out? I know I kind
Well,
of
in
already
the next
spoiled
7
one a
days,
little bit,
well, we
but
talked about that one last week.
oh, that's
So
right. That's right.
in the
I never
next
know if today is covered by last week or today, or if next Tuesday is covered by today or next week.
in the
So
next 7 days, we've got 3 very exciting games coming out, and we've got one that really is a larger than schedule calendar release for some people, and
hmm
for others, it's just another day on Xbox. Um, Tomorrow, it coming to PlayStation 4 and 5 exclusively is one of the linchpins of the 5 rollout. One of the Sony's biggest guns to be coming out in the next calendar year, and hopefully, possibly, and in potentia, a franchise continued and advanced in so many things presented live here in Nerd Vision. And thank you, Steve, for, as always, covering our Nerd Vision needs, wants, and loves. We One second. We are really looking forward to seeing how this game comes out. I will say,
yeah. So
however, due to the
I don't.
nature
Did you say
of,
the title of the game?
I have not yet,
Okay.
but due to the nature of my relationship with this franchise, I don't have a lot of information on this game because I still haven't finished the original God of War for the PlayStation 4. So I tried not to spoil anything for myself by looking up too many details because immediately a bunch of information was leaked on the internet and a bunch of through lines from God of War to now, releasing tomorrow, God of War Ragnarok, a game that looks like it's going to blow the doors off of everything and potentially
God of
compete
Door.
for Game of the Year. But it'll be up to you, the players, to find that out.
I played God. Well, first off, I sat down and played God of War with you for a bit. We did a lot of shooting the shit and even went through a couple of rooms in the game. I did end up playing it on my own with Steph watching. Um, again, right around that time, I started a replay of it last year, but didn't finish it. Steph is currently playing it right now, so I'm seeing
Nice.
bits and pieces, but I'm like, I want to replay it. And I also have started a reread of Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology, because I just like seeing how something was told
Mhm.
there and how it's told here.
Yeah.
Interesting to compare to how Too Human told it and how it is in MCU and so forth. Um, I really loved God of War on the PS4, and I'm super looking forward to playing God of War Ragnarok. Of course, I say I'm super looking forward to it. It's going to be some time until I get to it because, again, I want to play the first one through again. Just kind of sit down and be like, all right, take a couple days off and just play straight through or something. I don't know.
Nice.
Actually, Dave, maybe I won't see you at the event this weekend. I got to play God of War.
It's fair. That's fair. Really looking forward to seeing how this game shapes, what story they tell, what tropes they may or may not use, create, or reinvigorate from the now plethora of God of War games that they have. And really looking forward to seeing what Sony Studios does looking forward to, being that this game was one of the big ones to help sell the PS5.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is one of those things, like, it is like a big one for PS5, and it was delayed at some points, wasn't it?
No.
No? Okay. Interesting. I mean, it's kind of like how, in Xbox is sold on the promise of the next Halo game, PS5s are sold on the promise of next God of War.
It was one of the big ones prominently featured. Kratos and the boy were on a lot of the advertisements, things like that.
Yep.
So it's always good, and hopefully they continue the strong installments on things that you advertise on the systems, unlike Knack, which they put all over the PS4 and then promptly put out Knack 2 and then forgot about.
Yeah. What else have we got coming out this week, Dave?
Well, on the 15th, you're looking at your Windows, your Xbox One, and your Series X. You're watching your friends with PlayStation play God of War Ragnarok. You're looking over here. This is one of the things I did ask Steve for.
This is not what you expected, was it?
It's not, and it wasn't what I expected when Steve first sent it to me last week, as we were heading out for the night.
What am I looking
Um,
at?
You are looking at
What am I
one
looking
of
at?
the God of War Ragnarok advertisements that they released for the game. It is in the style of the after-school special exercise videos for kids and adults to take
Okay.
a quick little exercise break, but instead they are outlining different elements from the new God of War franchise, such as throw the axe, shoot the bow, all these things. Move along, swing your arms, and Steve sent this to me, and I sat in my car for a good 10 minutes and just laughed.
It is unfair that I can't hear this right now.
It's just damn good, and it's once again the signs of this has obviously absolutely fuck all to do with the game, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And
I'm a little surprised because God of War feels like one of those franchises that they would play, super serious. So it's nice to see marketing getting the chance to have fun with it like this.
it's a great juxtaposition to see the God of War franchise has matured, has changed a little bit, like our titular hero, and added a little bit of fun to a franchise that was normally big, scowly, and sweaty, and full of murder. The next
My idea for
game
Friday night.
coming out on the 15th is called Pentiment. It is a game that caught my attention and did earnestly make me a little bit sad that I don't have a Series X to best play this on, in my opinion. You are in Bavaria in the 16th century.
Okay.
You are playing as a hero who is investigating a murder your friend was accused of. The hook of this is the game takes place over a 25-year span in
Ooh.
the game story. And it's a sort of whodunit. You collect clues, you learn about people, you talk about all these things. But the hook with the game is it does not tell you if you got it right when you inevitably decide to accuse someone because
Interesting.
it is your story to tell, not theirs.
Huh.
And so you make the truths that are evident in the game and the franchise going forward. Um,
Okay, so kind of like how in the movie Clue, there's multiple ways that it could go. The way
yes.
that from Obsidian, dang, the multiple ways that things could theoretically go, they leave open-ended enough that any of them could be right. Okay, and I love I love the art style as well. The kind of Chaucer, uh, the medieval manuscript look to it.
It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It it's going to be a point and click, people. So you're not going to be
Hmm.
swinging around and learning all these things and having too much to interact with in the environment. It is a lot about building the case and building your story. Um, but
Interesting.
by God, what a great time could be had with that. And our third installment coming out for Windows, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, and the Series X. Fun for all from our friends at Rooster Teeth.
Oh boy.
It's Ruby Arrowfell. It is a game based upon after Volume 7 of the Ruby franchise, which is from around 2019 2020. So it is to take place before 8 and things like that. So if you're still watching, if you're currently keeping up with it and all those things, it's not going to have characters and developments from that time. You know what I'm talking about. But it will have its own small self-contained arc going
Okay.
along with. You are going to play, of course, as the heroes of in Ruby, using the different
That's one of
abilities
those
to.
franchises that I've never gotten around to watching, but I've always wanted to.
I have a lot of friends that are very fond of this. They really like it, and it does it for them. It's the art style that I can't get into.
Okay.
Um, just as the television show Reboot, I know they're not the same, but that style of all the characters are animated in a certain graphic style does
And
like cell
that's
shaded
fair.
blocks. Really, just for me, doesn't sit well. But folks will enjoy. It looks like it's going to be an awesome game. Folks who have already played it are very excited that it does have the writers from the television series on it. So it's going to be canon. It's not going to conflict with anything, and the characters certainly aren't going to do or say anything that destroys the arc that's already in motion this year in Volume 9, 10, Volume 9. And that are the games that I picked out that are coming out in the next 7 days.
Awesome. Yeah, I wrote down Pentiment because that looks like one that that I could have a lot of fun playing. Kind of depends a bit on how long a game it is too. Um, and like the replayability seems like it'd be pretty cool. Depending on how open it is. Yeah. So of those, that's what I'm kind of excited about.
Nice.
Um, so, Dave, before we move on, do you want to talk at all about what people are choosing for us to consume today?
Oh, sure. We have the two options you may or may not have seen before in previous weeks, that being the mystery box and the perennial loser, Dracula's Kisses. Um, Whereas the third one is a holiday treat that has yet to be beat or voted upon, the Nerds Candy Corn. Is it a Halloween treat? Is it a Thanksgiving treat? Is it going to be something that we wind up bunching on, breaking our teeth about?
I feel
Maybe.
like I've had enough candy corn now. Candy corn was for the month of October. And I had the big old thing of regular candy corn that I also dumped the funfetti candy corn into. And a lot of people at work took a fair amount.
Yeah.
I think I'm candy corned out, so we'll see. We'll see where that lands, folks. You have the chance to vote with your channel points, and if the leading vote, uh, if you end up voting for the one that wins the leading vote, then you get your points back plus some extras that you poach from others.
And don't waste your time trying to buy channel points. Just watch the programs here on Insane Games TV. It's the only way to get them.
Hmm. Unless you buy our premium currency, which is a high five. Actually, I think typing in chat might actually get you channel points after a while as well. I don't know how active you are in chat counts. But if you
Um,
type a high five, you might get some channel points.
ch-
No guarantees. Not valid in all territories.
you can
Void in
multiply your
Hawaii.
channel points by being subscribed to any channel. You receive more per half hour watched on any Twitch channel that is live. Judicrus in chat giving a high five, and Vladdy with a hello.
Hello, Vladdy. Welcome. There's a high five in the box.
I mean, there could be. You got to vote for the mystery box
Just
to
open
find
the
out.
box and. Dave, what are you playing? What are you watching? What media are you consuming?
So, the World Series came to a close in a thrilling game that didn't surprise too many. That the Houston Astros have become World Series champions again. The baseball season has come to an end, and now I will. I'll wait till next fall when more baseball comes. Or spring, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how my Giants fare in the off season and see how the games have been going. Overwatch 2 has really started to show both true colors and also what the differences between Overwatch 1 and 2 have been. I'm really still enjoying the game modes. The push game mode, which was added for 2, has become one of my favorite ones to play just because it's not so simple as capture this one point or hold this one object. It's a moving object that pushes a certain distance, and you have to try to push or equal that distance that
Yeah.
your opponent has done. And by God, it's just fun. Mobile engagement places are really good. Taco Pill giving a high five. What's up, Lily's Lottery? Push stinks because it's a team game, says Judicrus. And that's exactly why I don't win a whole hell of a lot of push games because I team up with a lot of people that go, ooh, me! And they go away somewhere else. And then I'm left over there as Zenyatta going, I've made peace with myself on the payload, and now I am to die. But Overwatch 2 has been a lot of fun. I am going forward, not purchase the premium skins that are being advertised. In previous games, when a new franchise, a new series, a new season would come out, they'd release really cool, really fun skins for folks' favorite heroes, except for Sigma. Steve never got shit. But
Aww.
but nowadays they're releasing premium skins that come with a skin, an item to hang off of your character, and a little banner. A fair and fine system, but they use a particular premium currency that is only gotten through purchasing. I know what you're saying at home, but what about the weekly challenges? Well, when you can get maybe 100 per week that they do these,
I was trying to
and
throw money
they
at the camera
cost
and it failed.
upwards of
Continue.
1,000, 2,000, 2,500, there's nothing
No.
you can do about it. Like, so I'm not going to be buying them. They released a Reinhardt skin, and that's my boy. That calls to me,
Okay.
and I'm just not doing it because it doesn't benefit the game. It doesn't change anything, and I understand the
it's not
game
how
is.
you want to spend money on the game. Yeah, it's not how you want to interact with the game. Is every month or two to have it be like, hey, look at this pretty thing. Come
Yep,
here.
every
Look what I
week
got.
even now they're just releasing
Cough it
because
up.
they have so many heroes to do.
Yeah. But
It's
it's like you're not gonna they get every week, but every 2 months there's gonna be one that you go, oh, I need it, and that's not how you want to interact with Overwatch as an experience.
and a lot of the people bitching online don't want to either. Here's hoping that people stand on this and don't just pay for it because meme money, folks voting out there buying checks on Twitter, by the way, meme money, ha-ha's internet for goofs money votes just the same
Mm-hmm.
as support money. Companies don't care
Yep.
how they get it from you, whether it's ironically detached or not.
Yeah.
Vote with your money, vote with your time. I don't go on the e-store on Overwatch, and therein I show that with the time that I spend, and it's a lot. Don't
Mhm.
want that. Don't want that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I've been playing, what I've been keeping up with, Boder. What have you been watching? What have you been up to?
Um, watching Andor is really good. Still going strong. The ninth episode didn't do the thing that the first part of the season did, which that was like setup, amazing payoff, setup, amazing payoff.
Yeah.
I covered
I'm a
3
player,
episodes of
Oakland
setup, and then the
Raider,
payoff
from
was
the
like
Bay to LA to Las Vegas, cause I'm a player, a ball
spoiler
player,
thing.
and if you with me, pop your collar, shake a hater, I'm a
Final part of the
raider.
episode that I saw it put in that meme of like the packed sports bar with a huge TV. The line goes and yeah, for the previous best version of that I've seen was when the DVD logo hits the corner exactly, and then yeah, but
Hell yes.
you know what I'm talking about as far as that video meme.
Speaking of celebrations, thank you so much, Griff Kuba, for the raid. Welcome, everyone, to the Nerd Glasses podcast. We are 2 of the 11 presenters here on Insane Games TV. Make sure to hit the follow button down here. Make sure to check it out with us and chat along with us.
Presenters. I thought you said 2 of the 11 percenters. I'm like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Okay, 2 of the 11 presenters. I'm sorry, my brain is going. But yeah, make sure that you check out all the awesome programming that we've got. Follow our Discord for all sorts of fun discussion for all the different shows that we've got going.
So what's going on with Andor, Boder? I've wanted to ask you
Yeah,
as a tangential thing.
they're starting
The last
filming
couple,
season
what
2.
I mean is the last couple of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian and all these things, and everybody was buzzing about it. Andor, I couldn't shake Twitter hard enough to get Andor news or hype fall out of it from my circles.
Yeah, so
What's up with that?
Andor is I think it's going to be more of a sleeper hit. Like it is critically acclaimed, but the people that are watching it, like it's more of a drama than an action
Okay.
uh, series, I will say. But there is action in it, but it is more of a drama, and it is a lot more of like a slow build kind of thing. It's the kind of thing that I think when the season is done, it is going to be very, very well regarded. It's like Rogue One is, in retrospect, considered by many to be the best Disney era Star Wars film. And it definitely, I mean, it's a prequel series to Rogue One. It follows in the footsteps of how it presents its world and so forth, and takes a fair amount of cues from this kind of like dirty ground level thing. It's not heroic. That's actually a really good point. Is that it's not a heroic series. Even in Mandalorian, where he's a bounty hunter and it's this kind of like seedy, grungy thing, he does some pretty
Dude's
heroic stuff.
dude's got a sword and a cape. He can't like
He's heroic. And he's a flawed hero, but he's heroic. Um, and there are no heroes in Andor. It is not a heroic show. We're getting exposed to how awful it is to live under the fascism of the Empire. We're getting exposed to how much it is hurting Mon Mothma personally and her relationships with people around her to be an organizing member of what will eventually become the Rebel Alliance. We're seeing how these different rebel cells are still in conflict. In the TV show Rebels, we knew that there's different cells of people that would eventually come together as a rebel alliance, but until then, there was a cameo 2 episodes ago that said something like, "Oh well, they're this and they're that, and we all have all these different motivations for doing what we're doing. We can't work together. We're just all anti-empire, but we're not enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing." And it's all the rough stuff trying to bring that together. It is a very nuanced show, not nearly as cut and dry as many people prefer Star Wars to be, but for those that enjoy the nuance, it is hitting so hard.
I'm glad to hear that. But I like the point that it is not an action; it's a drama, which would then play into the fact that people may not be able to have a cutesy sidekick to follow around and like. And um,
Yeah, I
I
mean, it's there was kind of a fake out where like, oh well, this interesting droid might be right at the start, but no. And I mean, like, I am not normally one for dramas. I didn't watch Jessica Jones because it is mostly a drama. Yes, there's action in it.
oh highly recommend it because of the few dramas in my lifetime I have watched that one.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is that I generally don't watch shows that are primarily dramas. But Star Wars grabbed me for this one. I'm so glad that it did. I'm enjoying it so much.
Hell yes.
Um, So let's see. So I'm watching Andor. Not nearly as much to talk about, but I'm watching the Winter Marble League from Yellow's Marble Runs, and the O Rangers are being disappointing, but they could be worse. They could be much better. That's going. Um, and then playing, in addition to a bunch of played up over the weekend again, which I've already talked about. I I got rehooked on a mobile game called Train Station 2. The nice thing is, my progress is there. I just downloaded it for the first time in like 2 years, and I'm like, look, I'm still level 155. Let me just pick up exactly where I left off.
Nice.
It's going to be one of those things that I'm probably going to be too attached to for at least a month. Um, whether it's better that or TikTok, I don't know. You choose. We'll see. It's taking the spot in my life that normally I would be on my phone browsing TikTok. Now I'm on TikTok. Now I'm on my phone sending trains out, getting materials, sending them through factories, and I'm not proud of it, but it's what I'm playing.
We are
This
proud
Slack, get
to
over here.
announce to you folks that if you slept on last week's full view and announcement of the release of How We Stopped the Destroyers, well, sucks to be you because they're out of the book at our local bookshop.
It's
You
doing
slept
pretty
on it, and I
decently.
can't believe how stupid you are to have not purchased your copy
Dave,
yet.
that's mean, and they'll still have their chance.
Will they, though? How are they going to get more?
Northshire Saratoga is going to restock on Saturday. Do I know exactly when? No, it's going to be when I'm in town, dropping off another half dozen copies to them. If you are interested in ordering online from Northshire instead, then there are half a dozen more copies dropped off to the Vermont store that does the shipping. Every single copy that you buy from Northshire Bookstore is signed by the author, aka me. May as well hold the book while I'm talking about it. In addition to selling through the initial run of books on uh, at Northshire and getting more copies there, sold about half a dozen. Why is this all like this got water damaged or something over there?
I love that we put that copy on the set specifically because it was the damaged
Oh yeah,
one.
but it's gotten like more damage in the last week.
Has it? Because
It
nothing else
wasn't
on the
this. It
set
wasn't
has
this warped.
changed.
Maybe it was just like how it was sitting like that. Well, now it's on a nice little book stand
I
to.
just for a behind the curtain.
It's a messed
Every
up
time
stuff.
he's picked up that book in the last 2 hours, he has noted a new thing on it that's like, wow,
It's all
this
like,
is
look
really
at that. Like that's all like warped and shit.
it's jank, but that's why we put it there.
No, exactly. That's why this is the display copy. If like only one, I had one damaged one come in on the previous batch, and I'm like, you know what, it can be a display copy for the set. Um, yeah. So in addition to Northshire selling through and getting a bunch more copies from me, sold about half a dozen paperbacks on Amazon, and between Amazon and Kobo, about half a dozen ebooks. I've also had people asking me about audiobook because that is a way that some of the people only read audiobook rather than anything on paper or on screen. And there will be an audiobook version of it, but not until next year. I'm talking with someone who I love the outreach that I've gotten from people. Before the book was even out, one of my actor friends was like, "Are you planning on doing an audiobook?" Because he also mostly consumes via audio, but he was also like, "I'd be interested in voicing if you need someone." I was like, "Yes, please, that would be awesome." And then over the weekend, no, during Nerd Glasses last week, I had a friend of mine who uh, is an audio engineer among many other things, and she was like, "Yeah, I've got a recording studio at my house that recorded my last album on, and have done audiobook recording on this and that. Is that something that you're going to be doing? And I'm like, yeah. So all the plans are set. I just need.
Welcome, fair raiders from Sustaina. I hope you guys have been enjoying the new Sonic game. Let us know how it's been. I was enjoying the watch, had it up on the store here. But welcome, folks, to Insane Games TV, the Nerd Glasses podcast, hosted by myself, Dave, and Boder. We are very excited to have you folks here. The new Sonic game is
God.
actually good. What the fuck's a Sustaina? That's awesome. Hell yeah.
I stopped talking because I know the raid thing was overpowering it or was too loud when Taco Bell said that we had that coming in too. But yeah, I'm so just thrilled with the response that we've gotten in the first week of the book being out. And yeah, I'm gonna drop a link in the chat if you're interested in said book. But let's move on. And Dave, the prediction is not quite done. We're almost there. So raiders that just came in with Sustaina, you can vote with your channel points on what snack or whatever else we're gonna try. We've got 3 options, one of which is hidden behind the mystery box. So make sure that you check that out.
2 minutes and 35 seconds as of post time to help decide what we are noshing on during the program. Well, news was made as of today, and big things coming in for a lot of us folks, namely that we've been talking a lot about this topic over the months since the news broke. But announced today in Brussels, the EU Commission is going to open an in-depth investigation to the Activision Blizzard acquisition by Microsoft, and specifically looking into the competition in the distribution of consoles and PCs, and for PC operating systems if Microsoft is the owner of the Call of Duty franchise, which, as much as here on the program we may not be the target audience for, it's a big fucking deal.
Well, I don't really see how the acquisition of Activision would affect at all any accusations of monopoly on the operating system.
Then make sure to write to that EU Commission with your opinions and things like that. They announced
it's another
that
thing
they
if
are.
they're like, hey, we're going to include Call of Duty with every install of Windows 12. Yes, 100%. That's going to get them in trouble because that's, including Internet Explorer built into the operating system in Windows 98, 95, something around there, is the last thing that really got them in monopoly trouble.
This commission is announced to have and charged with 90 days to investigate as deeply and as hard as they want into these different facets and find their findings that they're going to have and present it. They have until the 23rd of March to present what they have found before they move on to the next phase in voting on it. Sustaina saying that we know Sony is paying them off to do that. Sony right now is sitting back on their heels because they're really glad that they blew the whistle on this when it was first announced and haven't said spit about it since, and are watching the waves that were created by Sony and a couple other voices. But let's be honest, Sony were the biggest proponents of, well, that's going to create some unfair conditions, isn't it?
All right, Dave. What has the prediction granted us?
Well, it looks like with our prediction, with 100% of the vote, we are going to be having the last purely Halloween themed candy, which is Dracula Hershey Kisses. They are a strawberry milk chocolate filled with strawberry flavored cream treat.
That sounds amazing.
They've got a little bat covering on the art and all that going on, and they are of fun color and style.
Dave.
And here are your 3.
I caught the first one in my
Chat, do you want
collarbone. That
do you
was
want one?
interesting.
You don't want one? Okay. We'll try it for you and we'll let you know. Um,
This is
well,
dark chocolate with a strawberry cream filling. Yeah?
milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate. Okay, that's better for me. I don't like dark chocolate as much. Mmm. That's delicious. That does everything for me. I would have put more channel points into this sooner if I'd known that that's what they were.
Oh, well, you've won the pony. Those are awful.
I
Ah,
love these.
oh, I
These
hate
are
it.
great.
Oh, I'm wounded.
Steve's still trying to find the rest of his.
Good
2 were massively overshot.
God, that was awful.
Really?
How dare they accost my milk chocolate kissies with something so just piss poor?
That is so good though. I
Ah!
love the texture works. Yeah, it's great.
Ugh. Ugh. Huh?
Hold on. Bad arm throw over the light. 3, 2, 1. Yeet! Ow! No.
I'm gonna have to have
I'm gonna be off camera for a second.
I'm gonna have to have a habanero jelly bean to wash down that flavor. Oh,
I should have thrown with my offhand. I'll be fine. Just give me a minute. Nope. Just give me a minute.
a minute is exactly how much thought that EA put into 2 franchises that they have since decided to retire. If you're a fan of the franchises Project Cars and Dirt, you have
Oh.
the option to play. What?
Dirt's fine. Dirt Rally's dead.
Oh, the distinction between Dirt and Dirt Rally. Okay, because Dirt, I'm like, that was
Wow.
a big one.
All of the journalists that I look at wrote Dirt specifically, not Dirt Rally.
I looked into it a bit more.
That's weird.
Interesting.
No, but that just means that it may be that they're confusing the franchises because
I didn't know that Dirt Rally was a separate thing. I just thought Dirt and Grid are the 2 like Codemasters.
It's like a spin-off, but more simulator-based.
Okay, Steve is saying that Dirt Rally is more of a sim-based spin-off, whereas the original Dirt was a little more arcadey. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
so still available to be played are 2020's Project Cars 3, 2020's Dirt 5, and Dirt Rally 2.0 from 2019. The others in these series
I need a
have
Hershey
been
Kiss to make me feel
removed
better.
from EA's digital services
That
and
worked.
will, as licenses expire, be taken off of Game Pass and PlayStation Plus and other such available
I hate that.
services.
I hate that just from game preservation. Like I want to play Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. I can't. I cannot play it online anywhere. All the licenses of everything have expired. It's not shown up as like abandonware or anything. There were physical game discs back in the day, but like good luck finding them. I had it for Xbox 360, but it's not. It was never made backwards compatible to forward systems. Like the patches were never made available. Just EA doesn't care, and it sucks that that happens with games. Especially the way that EA treats, it's Dirt 5, Dirt Rally 2.0, like all these franchises that have so many various numbers, all they care about is the latest one. And even if the best one was maybe 10 years ago or whatever you subjectively think. Dave,
Hmm.
shall we SUNY ESC?
Well,
before
I
we
would
forget?
love to hear about SUNY ESC.
We've gotten all. I found Most Wanted for you if you're interested. Dude Icarus, bookmark that, send it, whatever you got to do, because I would very much be interested. I loved Most Wanted 2005, and very, very sore that I can't play that on any of my modern
I was gonna say,
systems.
man, you're in here all the time. We have that come through the shelves.
No, but yeah, on Xbox 360, but the disk drive on my 360 is basically dead.
Mm.
And again, it's not backwards compatible to newer systems. So the issue is that I would need to get it on PC because this was back in the day when you got a disc for a game, it actually had the game on the disc, as opposed to nowadays when you get, I think the latest version of Skyrim that came out has the launcher on it and not the game. The launcher downloads the game for you.
Because that's what you want.
Anyway, Steve, if you can bring us to the good old Sunni Empire. Awesome. There we go. As the last week before playoffs, several teams for Sunni Empire Esports Bluebirds had extremely tough matchups this week, but as always, the Bluebirds face tough opposition with determination. I apologize if there's like extra saliva. It's the Hershey Kisses' fault. The League of Legends team went head-to-head against Grand Valley State University. They started the match strong. GVSU decided to invade aggressively AFK's jungle, but the Bluebirds were ready for it.
Hell
GVSU's
yes.
support decided to face-check a bush near the Bluebirds' blue buff, and paid dearly for it. With the Bluebirds stacked as 5, it struck multiple forms of crowd control. Aggressively AFK took first blood in the early momentum. Unfortunately, and to GVSU's credit, they didn't let the oh my god. Let's ignore the word that I said and just delete and go back over. They didn't let the rough start shake them, and the Bluebirds lost against GVSU 2-0 this week. My apologies to all the awesome athletes out there for my inability to speak today. For the sake of a highlight, I'm going to do that sentence start to end one more time and then move on. Unfortunately, and to GVSU's credit, they didn't let the rough start shake them, and the Bluebirds lost against GVSU 2-0 this week. But it goes uphill from there. Sunni Empire's Dia won her first match in the nick of time against Buffalo State College's Taxi Fair. Dia lost her first game against Taxi Fair 2-3, but she used her loss as a learning experience and took the next 3 games in succession, resulting in wins of 3-2, 3-2, and 3-2, taking the match against Taxi Fair with 3 wins to 1 loss. And finally, Sunni Empire's Rocket League team, Deep Blue, took their second win of the season against Cayuga Community College Spartans. Princess Warrior and Nuzlocke both scored a point in Game 1, while CCC only scored once. In Game 2, Princess Warrior scored the only 2 points, and in Game 3, the Bluebirds rounded out the night with each member, Princess Warrior, Nuzlocke, and Zyrax, each netting 1 point to clinch the victory 3-0. As always, we're excited for the Bluebirds and look forward to some amazing performances in the playoffs starting next week. Make sure to check Sunni ESC Esports on Twitter for all the updates, and of course, right here at Nerd Glasses Podcast, especially if I can speak clearly, which was an issue this week, but it's going to be better next week. Is that a founded thing? No, but we're going to try.
Oh, look, because that's what people watch any program for is that man used improper grammar. I'm going to complain to Twitch.
It's not the grammar. It's that I tried to say rough start, shake them, and I said rough shart.
Listen, there have been so many gaffes in the NFL verbiage live for millions and millions of subscribers, and they don't redo. They just keep on talking and they keep on going.
Yeah, maybe next week. Maybe next week I will be a better presenter. But as for this week, that is what we've got from the Bluebirds. As always, proud of them.
So I am super stoked. Firstly, thank you so much, Mortis, for the continued millions and millions of subscriptions. 39 months consecutively. Excellent.
29, but nearly 30.
I am really excited that the number 3 continuing to come up here, throwing it around, because today is what day, Boater?
Today is Tuesday. Today is November 8th. Which is the day after N7 Day.
It is the day after N7 Day. 3 years ago, a franchise was released on November 8th. and it changed. Well, a lot of people on the internet got really excited about it, myself included. That being a game that I talk about all the damn time and continue to love to play.
Dave, it's
That
one
being,
game. Can you call it a franchise yet?
yes, it's got several different things along in the works. It's got a game studio, and I really like it. So pick
Okay.
nits if you will, and interrupt me
Okay.
if you must. But by God, 3 years of Death Stranding and 10 million players, have
Okay.
played on the various franchises and different game consoles and ways to play Death Stranding, and people have found their stories and all the fun that they want in it. Um, I am Chainsaw Man Tuesday, says Obelisk. What's going on? Um, I'm really excited for it. I was very excited to see that Kojima Studios had a little party. They had some
Yeah.
cake. They were talking with people, and then a lot of players were sharing different experiences they had in Death Stranding, what they enjoyed,
Yeah.
and what it means to them as a game does. Um,
What's your favorite moment from the game that you've played?
Earnestly, it's the pizza deliveries. It's because they are a challenge. It is a huge distance you usually have to cover. There
Mhm.
is rough terrain, so even after you've fully explored certain maps and you have roadways and you have the ability to just put the pizza in the back of a vehicle and drive, it's a lot of fun. I will also say every time we wind up playing that, I do put on a particular sound clip of a particular cartoon sponges pizza delivery adventure. And during the duration of the pizza delivery, it plays on a loop from the
Oh,
second I receive the
no.
pizza to the second the pizza is delivered. And I specifically, even now, when I pop the game in and do some deliveries just for catharsis and fun,
Yeah.
I hold off on doing the pizza deliveries till streams when I play it because it's just fun. More like Rick and Mortis, love the idea of a game where pizza delivery is high stakes moment. It is! Because if you do it wrong, the package gets ruined, you don't get to do the delivery, you fail the mission, and literally everyone and their mother comes out of the woodwork to be like, wow, Sam, really biffed it this time, even after you've saved the world.
Now I just really want to play a game of the first chapter of Snow Crash. Just the cyberpunk pizza delivery with the massively souped up sports car deliverator. Like, I gotta read Snow Crash again. It's been too long.
Well, like it really is technically true of IRL pizza delivery. I also do say that I do enjoy visiting, like so many Kojima games. When I go home, I am going to turn it on because in Kojima's games, there's usually on special events and
Oh, yep.
special dates, there is a little bit of acknowledgement. It's not much. It's usually just a quick voice line as the game boots up, where it's like "Happy Anniversary," or if you play on your birthdays in any of the Metal Gear Solid franchises or
Mhm.
Death Stranding, there's a little cake in the break room,
Aw.
or a voice line comes out where they're like "Happy birthday, boss." I love it, and it's
Yeah,
it's part of the
that's
reason that
cool.
Kojima games have such a high regard and are such in my heart. I do have to take out conspiracy baseball for a moment
Oh.
because there is a very important update that we received recently during one of Kojima's podcasts, and it's not a thinly veiled allusion to. It is not a tinfoil hat moment as we have. Um, Over the year that it was in development and talked about, um, a lot of people had a lot of fun um, with the fact that the game franchise Abandoned was supposed to be an allusion to Silent
Right,
Hill
I remember
and the
all
Silent
that.
Hill remaster. Well, Kojima now officially has acknowledged that at the time had some fun with it. It's now just annoying that he gets messages about whether or not that studio and that franchise is related to him,
Mhm.
especially that he is trying new IPs out and doing more work in his own way and making more relationships with the guards. And
Yeah.
even in professional meetings, he noted that people had to ask him during these meetings, is this you? Are you tied to this as well? Because
Yeah.
that'll affect what the sheets are and where everything is. So
Yeah, and
to
it's this kind of thing that I think he professionally like is at the point where it's like that's just disrespectful to that developer as well. To, I mean,
he kind of went out of his way to poop on that developer,
I mean,
but
yeah. To be fair, that developer it is a little poo worthy for a lot of the stunts that they've pulled. But like just in general, something randomly showing up and being like, "Oh, is this you?" is you know in general takes away the hard work of others. But now, especially since we're like, oh well, that developer is definitely a poop, is another reason that no, that's not Kojima. Kojima not a poop.
so conspiracy baseball and I apologize for all of the fanning that we did in the heyday of it. It was fun. Kojima admitted he kind of fanned with
Yeah,
some of
one of those
the
things that was fun at the time, but it's
tweets
old.
and things, but he did want to formally come out and acknowledge that there is a difference between the works that he's doing and the work that is being done by that game studio. Um,
So we are at. I guess I can ask if we're good to go over a little bit, but we are getting towards the end of the day here on Nerd Glasses podcast. Okay, fine. Conspiracy baseball, you can take a nap there. Um, and normally this is where we say what's coming up in the Citadel after, but as you might recall, last week was the last edition of the Citadel. So, but worry not. There is still entertainment for you right here on Insane Games TV, immediately following the Nerd Glasses. Steve, you want to come on over and tell us what we can look forward to? There's a cable there,
while Steve is fighting on the cables, we can also announce, and you can look forward to, if you remember Cruise Day, as the two old farts on the Nerd Glasses named it. We used to not be just OC5, Nerd Glasses, and Citadel. We had a program that had yet to be named, and we are really looking forward to next week the return to Insane Games TV of our ally in streaming, Jackson. We cannot wait for you to start crushing it, and he's going to be starting streaming right here on Insane Games TV at 5, going live. What games? A little bit restricted access in that information, my young Padawan. But
Maybe Fortnite.
Maybe.
maybe, maybe.
We cannot neither confirm nor deny these rumors.
But
I can't. I heard it from the.
Steve, you're
Okay.
ruining the mystery.
that's actually really good news, because if you watched past streams with Luke, Jackson, and them playing,
They crushed it.
just absolutely gummed up people within Fortnite, and I really look forward to having that energy brought to the network. But a new program starting this week, not starring any face you have seen on previously hosted programs and things like that. A new host, a new program, and yet something so familiar and so very just Steve. Steve, what are you hosting?
Coming up after Nerd Glasses, I will be hosting a new show. It's called Shovelware Shack, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh,
I have
God.
roped Dave into the first episode, and
Ugh.
I've already found some games that I might be able to rope you into.
Okay.
Mainly some shovelware truck simulators.
Okay.
And I found games to rope everyone into, but most of the time it'll just be me. I got hair in my mouth. Excuse me for one moment. It's disgusting. Here, hold this.
Yeah, sure.
So
so
Steve has set himself a budget
Yeah.
of around $10 every week
Yep.
to fill between an hour and an hour and a half of programming with Steve's Shovelware Shack.
I'm really excited. That seems like a really fun concept for a show. I love seeing the different ideas that we get for shows here. Citadel was kind of one of these concept shows,
Mhm.
and it's cool to see the Tuesday Night Mantle being taken up by a different concept. So that's gonna be awesome, Steve. I wish you all the best with the show.
Thank you.
What's being played tonight? In
Tonight.
the inaugural stream. Sorry, I gotta speak up because I'm not actually.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh, hold on. La, la, la,
I already told you what we're playing, Dave.
Hold on.
Tonight, we are. I have 3 games on the thing. I went $1 over budget, which means I have to go $1 over budget next week, but that's fine. We have 3 games: Crypt of the Serpent King. Are you okay?
Crypt of the Serpent King. The shoveliest of shovelwares.
That's gonna be a good start to the series.
Super Truck Racing.
Yep.
And then Fight.
Could be
Fight-
worse. Could be big rigs over the road racing.
Oh, it does get worse. Fight of Animals.
Oh boy.
It's.
Citadel tried to find a balance between the best and the worst. We're just diving straight into the worst with this.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, that's.
We're all gonna be safe. We're all gonna have a good time.
What in the Jesus Christ was that? But
That's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome, Steve.
Thank you.
So everyone, make sure that you're right here afterward for that. Dave, did you have any other topics tonight before we get everything set for Steve?
I could shamoosh out.
Well, real quick, while we're on this path, as of today, 343's Industries released a free update and patch to the newest Halo game for your computers and Halo alikens. It
Mhm.
introduces campaign network co-op, mission replayability,
Finally.
which I know wanted to make sure people get this patch downloaded and start enjoying.
This is some of the
what's
stuff
on.
that was promised at launch, and then like in the month before launch, it's like, yeah, it's not gonna be ready in time. It's gonna come soon.
This is exactly the kind of stuff that we talk about saying soon TM, but also saying let good game studios give them time for these things.
Absolutely. Like I'm
and
glad
don't-
that it is coming out, and they didn't just decide to ditch
Oh
it.
yeah,
and
no.
do these
Well, this was
easy
also
things.
Microsoft going like, well, we need a big game, so what can you give us, meow, on the plate?
Yeah.
The free update also includes, and in personal opinion, what I'm going to be chasing after, the Forge beta.
Yep.
It's not going to be full. It's going to be updated. It's going to get changed. Things are going to be wrong with it. But it is now going to be available for people to start creating all their own again. Who hasn't spent an evening enjoying your friends and family and company and making just the most broke-ass game modes to have duels on? Just so much fun.
I've played in Forge a little bit. I mean, my most fun custom games always came in just Halo 1 and just messing around with the game settings and vehicular
have-
manslaughter. But I've definitely spent my time in Forge.
We have a new map in Argyle, which you should definitely check out because it looks awesome. And a new game mode, Covert One Flag. One team is supposed to defend the flag. Another team is supposed to capture the flag. They have camouflage. They have a plan. And
Ooh.
will you be able to thwart them in time? You make your mission. You find out. You hit that follow button
Very
here.
Interesting asymmetric CTF.
Yes. Join the Discord down below and keep your journey tuned in here on Insane Games TV.
Awesome. Well, that's all that we've got time for. We're gonna make way for Shovelware Shack with Steve after this. But folks, we will be back next week with Nerd Glasses. So make sure that you're following right here where we go live 7:45 Eastern every single Tuesday, and of course, so many other great shows. Not just what we've got going on the Cruise Day here, but all week, and plenty that we didn't get the chance to talk about, such as Saratoga Comic-Con coming up this weekend. So make sure that you stop by if you're local. Say hi to Dave and Steve running the booth.
And Mike and Nico, we've
Mike and Nico?
confirmed that we were able to get their agents and get them signed to be at the Insane Games table.
Bless my soul.
Make sure to bring your pen and paper. Get Mike's autograph. No, seriously, if you go to Saratoga Comic-Con, ask Mike for an autograph. It'll be a really funny thing that we're going to start doing from now on. Done. Nobody tell Mike we're doing it, Steve.
I'm gonna bring a copy of my book for him to sign.
I want, and that's not. This is not
And
like
then leave it on the table for you guys to sell.
this is not dunking on Mike at all. Mike is fucking awesome, and I love that man. But I love the fact that he rolls with all the things that we force on him, especially at conventions. And this is the new thing. I always come up with something at conventions. This is gonna be it.
Okay, ask
Yes.
him to sign something. Got it. All right, I'll have to keep that in mind.
Tony's gonna get him.
I had a whole conversation with my Lyft driver about Saratoga Comic Con today. That's awesome. All right, folks, we're going to head out. Thank you again so much for watching. We will see you next week. Be sure to stay tuned right here for the Shovelware Shack on Insane Games TV. Bye, everybody.